What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and a big war damn eagle. This is now my fourth time trying to just voice over this video. I am getting so aggravated with content lately. It's like content doesn't want me to create it. Okay, so again, really quickly, I must apologize to everybody who invested so much time into this series, along with me as well. It was very heartbreaking the other day. Last week, my house was struck by lightning. I live in a double wide trailer. It was struck by lightning and it blew up. It went right through the surge protector and it blew up my PS5. Probably one of the worst feelings I've ever had in my life, if I can be completely honest. And yeah, so we moved a mountain. It is not easy. It is not easy. We are poor. We are a very poor family. It is not easy for me to just go and get another PS5. Which is what we did. Somehow, some way, we made it happen. We come up with the money to get another brand new PS5. This is a slim. My other one was had the disc to it. But yeah, so nothing wrong with the freeze warning, Dynasty. I am so sorry that we lost all three of the playoff games. I just sat down and played them the night before, and I was planning on editing them that night, and then lightning struck around lunchtime and ruined my day for real. I was so irritated that day, but my week, man, when you're so used to playing a PlayStation or having your game and then it's gone, it is one of the worst feelings ever, man. Maybe it's just me, and because I've grown up since I was 3-4 years old with a PlayStation controller in my hand. Real quick though, I want to point out that Arch Manning, because we missed all the other stuff explaining what happened. 375 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 90% completions. He only got sacked once. If you go back and look, I think the reason that we lost this game was because Hank Brown got sacked 8 times in the national championship game. Cannot have that happen. Just cannot have stuff like that happen. We only scored twice, once on offense, once defense. Antonio Kite took a pick six to the end zone. Texas had us. Texas had our number that day. And I usually joke and say horns down just like everybody else, but I'm gonna say hook 'em this one time because they got me. They damn sure got me. Really quickly, Arizona State beat Penn State. Clemson beat UCF, Gus Malzahn. Texas beat Oklahoma. Georgia beat Notre Dame. Arizona State then turned around and beat Georgia Tech. Auburn beats Clemson. Texas beats USF, taking out all the Florida teams. Georgia loses to Ohio State. And in the Final Four, you had Arizona State get slaughtered by the Auburn Tigers, and you had the Texas Longhorns by 1 point beat the Ohio State Buckeyes, and then Texas beat us down with 8 sacks and a 90% completion rating for a national championship. They got it. They get the W. Really quickly going to go through the stats for the season. Cunningham had an 80% completion rating, and Hank Brown had a 67. So going into the season, next season, Cunningham will be the returning starter. Hank Brown, I don't know if it's just me or maybe it's him. I'm not sure. He does fumble a lot. Man. A lot. Jeremiah Cobb had a year, 15 touchdowns, 1,000 yards on the ground, a little over 1,000 yards on the ground. Right behind him is Bryce Kane with 713 yards and 8 touchdowns on the ground, who also can play wide receiver. He can basically play every position on the field. It's wild. Bryce Kane is going to be our number 1 player next season. I just have a feeling about that. Cunningham had 383 yards on the ground, 7 touchdowns. DJ Braswell, who transferred to us from South Carolina, I believe, he didn't get a lot of touches, but he did get 7 touchdowns. Whenever we was on the goal line, we would just bring in Braswell, and he would just truck over. He would just bowl over people like a bowling ball. Young Malcolm, 923 yards, was our leading receiver with 9 touchdowns. Let's go. Gotta love to see that. Right behind him, Barry Thompson. Next season, it's got to be different. Malcolm Simmons cannot lead the team every single year. That's why Cam Coleman transferred and left us. Joking. Barry Thompson has got to be our number one next season. It doesn't make sense for why he's not getting open. So we're going to force feed him the ball next year on the plains. Bryce Kane there, you can see him with his 40 catches, 2 touchdowns, 392 yards. Caleb Burton came on strong at the end of the year. Glad to see him become a part of the series and get involved. Caleb Burton came up big for us last season. As you can see right here, Love had 88 tackles, but Riddick had 95 95 tackles on the season. Wow. Williams had 6 sacks. Robert Woodyard had 5.5. Malik Blockton had 5.5. Riddick had 4.5. Darren Reed, our number one player, had 4.5. Gotta love to see that. Can't wait to see what is in the future for the Auburn Tigers defense next season. We do need a defensive end or a defensive tackle who can easily average 10 plus sacks a season. This is something I need. I user my defensive line. I'm weird like that. Wow, here we go. 6 picks, Antonio Kite. 6 picks, Lang. 4 sacks, 3 sacks, 3 sacks, 2, 2, 2, 1. What? That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. That's like 31 sacks interceptions on the season. We might not get to you a lot, but wow, 31 interceptions. Defense wins championships at Auburn. That's how we gonna keep playing too. We had 5 pick sixes or defensive touchdowns. Not sure if they were all pick sixes, but 5 defensive touchdowns. Love to see that. Bryce Kane had the 1 kick return for a touchdown. That came in the Arizona State playoff game. Opening kickoff, he takes it to the house. It was amazing, and it was going to be our thumbnail. All right, so going into year 4, we have a new offensive and defensive coordinator. I did not hire the offensive coordinator. The game did. I put in an offer for somebody else, and they didn't take it. So the game hired this pro-style offensive coordinator. I did put in the offer for the defensive coordinator. He was not my number one hire, but I like that he's a recruiter from the state of Georgia. If you want to see us change our schemes around to fit our coordinators, comment below. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see about it. I'll see about doing that. So we're going to advance. We are finally done. The recap for the playoffs and everything is over with, and we are now in the off-season. Players leaving and where they're going and why. It looks like we're going to have 2 players go pro this season, which is 2 more than we had last year, I believe. Darren Reed Jr., boom! Going pro, first round draft pick projected. I'm going to let him go. Even though I could persuade him. And Jeremiah Cobb looking like he's going to be a second round draft pick as well. Love to see that. Everybody else is just graduation. I do want to see a lot of these guys leave because they're all seniors and I've been using them for a minute. But man, it's hard to watch them go, if you know what I mean. Love made so many plays. Kite and Lee made so many plays. Michael Riley made so many plays. Caleb Burton made a ton of plays at the end of the season. Wow, all right. So Alabama looks like they're just going to let everybody transfer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 transfers coming from Tuscaloosa. I really do love seeing that. Let's go. The downfall of Tuscaloosa is beautiful. Georgia looks like everybody's happy and is going to go pro. Amazing. Never would have thunk it. Real quick, I want to look at Texas. I want to see if Arch Manning is going to come back for one more year or if he's going to leave and go pro, which is what he should do. Here we are. Arch Manning is going to go pro. Projected first round draft pick, Arch Manning from New Orleans, Louisiana. Yeah, man. I'm happy to say I went 2-1 or 3-1 against him, but he got me in the last game, the national championship. He got his ring and he got out of college. He said, "I'm ready to go play on Sundays." But here we are. So, yeah, Darren Reed goes in the first round. Cobb goes in the second round. Antonio Kite goes in the fifth. Terrence Love goes in the sixth. And late in the seventh, we had Mike O'Reilly and Kalen Lee get a chance in the NFL. 1, 2, 3. That is 6 players going pro. 6 players going to be representing the Auburn Tigers on Sundays for whatever team would draft them. I do think Jeremiah Cobb is going to be a good NFL running back. He's going to be a great running back for us. So it is now time for recruiting, the dreaded recruiting part of this video. All right, real quick, top classes. I want you to look real quick that we only have 18 players committed to us, and we are the number 2 class overall starting right now in the offseason with only 18 players. Most teams already have 35, whatever committed, 30-something players committed. No. We have 9 players in the top 100 and 18 players committed, and we're going to add more to that right now. So it's going to be kind of sped up. But what you're going to see right here is me adding a lot of players that are interested in us. We don't necessarily have a lot of needs. Most of our needs are on the offensive line. It's mostly like right guard, left guard type shit. Quarterback, fullback, we're not going to be touching any quarterbacks. We already have way too many quarterbacks. Too many. Way too many. Yeah, so if you would, just sit back, enjoy this little bit of music that I'm going to play. And I'll be back to recap this in just a few moments. Jaden Timmerman, he left us, and now he's on the portal again. All right, so I hope that wasn't too bad. What you see me doing right now is just scheduling visits and offering scholarships to all the players that was added to the board recently, and we're gonna quickly get through recruiting because it's also very repetitive, but it is a fun little mechanic in the game. Not gonna lie, I do love the recruiting in the game. It's just kind of hard to boom 4-star right in from Vicksburg, Mississippi, Caleb Bryant. Let's add him to the board. Another big 4-star and a big boom for Steph Green from Rome, Georgia, 4-star defensive tackle. Come on in. Come on in. The water's fine over here on the plains. And 4-star wide receiver, boom, Aiden Williams from Ridgeland, Mississippi. We got a bunch of Mississippi boys coming over here to play for the Tigers. Woo! Love this. Love this. And another one, 3-star Emeka Zombo. Boom! Right end. I don't know if he's going to play a lot, but I like his name. Zombo. Emeka Zombo. Hell yeah, I got 2,000 XP for that. Signed our first top 5 recruiting class. I'm sure of it, right? That it has to be. We did lose one guy down here to Mississippi State. Oof. Who would pick Mississippi State over Auburn? That is so disrespectful. Anywho, National Signing Day. Let's get into this. I'm ready to see where did we land. Where did we land? We are still the number 2 class with only 26 players recruited. I love that. I love that. We have Georgia 3, Notre Dame 4, Miami 5, Texas 6. All these teams have 30 players committed. We had 26. 6 5-stars, 16 4-stars, 6 3-stars. You love this. You love this. This is what Hugh Freeze brings to Auburn. Elite recruiting. 5-star, number 1 athlete / quarterback. He was a number 3 player nationally. Ramon's son. Bruce Lehman, number 5 nationally. Just number 11 nationally right here. That Caleb Bryant guy who just committed out of the transfer portal was the number 22 ranked nationally recruit. We added another one and another one. Man, 25 nationally, 27 nationally, 32 nationally, 48th nationally. Excuse me, I'm blind. Like, actually, I wear glasses. I'm blind. Aiden Williams, 48th nationally, wide receiver. Wow. So we got that receiver that we wanted. Not sure if Matt Rourke's going to play a lot, but he was the number 53 nationally. He's a quarterback. We got way too many quarterbacks. That is what it is. The 96th nationally ranked player, wide receiver, Jesus Ramirez, is going to be a monster. He is going to be a monster. You're going to look at him. It's going to look like he's got wings on his back. He's going to be flying down the field. All right, man. This recruiting class has me so excited. I almost didn't get to even experience this when the lightning struck my house. So, forgive me again because I may have been a little aggravated in the beginning of the video, but man, this was almost taken away from me. And all of us, like, for real. Number 2 nationally, the number 2 class. Love that. War damn Eagle for that one right there. Here's a quick look at the training results. It looks like Cunningham is going to be the starter. I know I already said that, but it does look like Cunningham's going to be the starter. We're probably going to encourage Hank Brown to transfer. Not because I don't like the baby goat, Hank Brown, but the thing is Hank, I want him to be able to play. Kind of like Holden. I do want them to be able to eventually be a starter somewhere. And Hank done his best for us, but we're just going to have to let him go. And hopefully he lands on a team where he can become the starter immediately next season. Because I believe that's how it works. He's going to enter the portal because I'm thinking about it now. We're probably going to encourage him, and the rest of the quarterbacks will just have to fight it out. But I want Hank Brown to be able to become a starter, and I believe if I encourage him, he'll have to sit out the season, and he comes back into the portal at the end of the year, and then we'll get to follow him and see where he goes. I hope that's how it works. If not, I'll skim through every team until I see Hank Brown committed somewhere. Uh, Amaris Williams becoming 88 overall. Do like that. Do like that. We're going to jump right back into these training results real quick. Looking like our defense is going to be, wow. All right. Casey Speed, that was a big recruit for us 3 seasons ago, is now an 85 overall sophomore defensive tackle. He is now the starting defensive tackle. Not sure. He just came out of nowhere. Just come out of nowhere and took Blockton's spot. Wow. Amon Lane. Wow. I mean, these DBs, they aren't great, but we got a ton of them. Matt Lambert, Rico Incognito. We're going to be, sadly, not all these safeties can stay here. Not all those DBs can stay there. Not all our quarterbacks, not all our running backs. I'm going to have to cut / encourage players to enter the portal. It is very, I mean, it's inevitable, really. All right, custom conference. There was a comment that said that they wanted me to play Clemson a lot. And they would have gotten their wish if lightning not struck my house because I played Clemson in the playoffs, ironically. But now I think it's 2026, going into the 2027 year. I think it's time that the SEC expands. And next time we expand in the next 2 or 3 seasons, I'll do a vote. So everybody will get to vote on who comes to the SEC, who we add. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and add the 2 teams that I know make the most sense for the SEC. And maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. But the Clemson Tigers are coming to the SEC. They are finally tired of playing with the little kids in the ACC. They want to come play big boy ball. Welcome the Clemson Tigers to the SEC. All right. Now, the ACC is going to respond, right? The ACC is going to respond. But before they can, the Florida State Seminoles are going to join the SEC. So now we have Clemson and Florida State both coming on over to where it just means more, to the SEC. Let me get an SEC comment in the chat, in the comments, man. ACC, they are going to respond by going and grabbing Notre Dame, because I believe Notre Dame already plays in the ACC in every other sport but football. They just want to be hard-headed and get special treatment. I don't like it. But number 2, now they got to add another player. The ACC, another team. The ACC has to add one more team. And it's got to be an up-and-coming school. It can't be some big name, big powerhouse name school like Notre Dame. Notre Dame is now going to hold the ACC together. But Liberty, the Liberty Flames, another former Hugh Freeze school, it has almost become a 3-star school, but I believe they would fit in quite nice. I believe they'd fit in very well. I believe that the Liberty Flames could be a problem in the ACC. So that is it now. The Big Ten not going to change. The Big 12 not going to change. For some reason, they still have the Pac-12 as a conference on here. I think that is funny. Conference USA, I kind of do want to add another team just to give them back their numbers, but we're not. We're just not at the moment. And, yeah. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun getting to play Clemson and Florida State now every year or every other year, depending on who's on the schedule. I want to make this Clemson game happen for you. So there's that. So I hope everybody's excited. I hope everybody's on board with what I just done. Clemson and Florida State are joining the SEC, and Liberty and Notre Dame are joining the ACC to replace them. And here we are. This is the moment I was speaking on earlier. Hank Brown, a 79 overall redshirt senior, will not be the starter. Like, there's no way he's going to be the starter. And I really, really like Hank, which is why we're going to encourage him to enter the transfer portal. That way he can get a starting job somewhere else. I think that's the best move. Let me know in the comments if you disagree, but we're going to let Hank Brown go. There you go. The baby goat will go be the goat for somebody else now. And here we are. This is the rest of the encouraging players to transfer. I'm going to throw on a little bit of music real quick, and then I'll come back and I'll recap everybody that everything that I've done. All right, and I think that's it for the encouraging players to transfer. Bunch of players now gone. Hopefully they find playing time elsewhere. Here we go. So I probably should have thought about this, but you're about to see the schedule, and there is a glaring issue with this schedule. We will be playing Michigan State at home, UTEP at home, on the road, Notre Dame, East Carolina at home, at Georgia, at Florida State, at Florida, versus Oklahoma, versus Mississippi State, at Kentucky, at LSU, versus Arkansas for the final game of the year. Because for some dumbass reason, whenever I added Clemson and Florida State to the SEC, it removed the Iron Bowl. So it's either that or for story purposes, for series purposes, Alabama's too scared to play us. They don't want to come back to the plains. They don't want to find us on a football field, but we will fix that. Okay, it's going to take us one season to get back into the custom conferences tab, but we are going to fix that. The Iron Bowl has to come back. It doesn't make any sense for it to leave. That should be one of those games that just don't get changed at all, even if you add teams to the SEC. But that was a totally unexpected thing. When I added Clemson and Florida State, I didn't think it would remove rivalry games that have been a part of college football forever. So there you go. Work on that. Work on that, EA Sports. Here's a quick preseason before we wrap up this video. The preseason poll, we got Georgia 1, Auburn 2, Texas 3. That's disrespectful. Texas just won the Natty. Ohio State 4, Clemson 5, Penn State 6, Notre Dame 7, Oklahoma 8, Arizona State 9, and Tennessee is 10. Yay. So Oregon starts at 11, UCF 12, man, if you enjoyed the content, all right, this is important. If you enjoyed the content, and again, I'm so sorry that we didn't get to experience the playoff games because Mother Nature had other plans for me. But if you enjoyed this content, like the video, subscribe, and make sure you're here tomorrow for when we play Michigan State, War Damn Eagle. I'm out of here.